Aloha, everyone. This is another Freedom to Feel conversation, and my guest today is Vera Helleman. She is the discoverer of the Emotion Codex. She's also the author of bestseller books like the Encyclopedia of Emotions and Effortlessly Being Yourself. I love that. I remember when I read the title, being yourself with no effort, right? She's also the founder of the Emotion Expertise Center. Vera is a well known speaker in the Netherlands and an icon in the field of emotions. So, this is my brief introduction to you, Vera. But the main question that I love asking everyone from the get go is about identity, which very much has to do with emotions a lot of times, the way people kind of introduce themselves, sees themselves. So, how would you introduce yourself in your own words? Who are you? Who is Vera as of this
Oh,
moment?
that's a nice question, and I always answer that with "I'm just Vera." And
Yeah.
why I say that is because in being your normal you, in being common, so like it
Mm.
feels to you as being common, actually that's where your greatness lays.
Yes.
So when
Yeah.
people ask me, I don't know what I'm for, what's my purpose in life, always say you overlook this because it feels so common to you. So
Yeah.
I'm just Vera, and you are just Hillary, and in that lays your greatness.
Yeah.
And
How Yeah, what a
actually,
simple, very simple answer, right? To a sometimes complex question of who am I, what am I? I love that. So in a sense, we are just being ourselves anyway. That's who I am here now. Is that
yes, and
wow?
searching for ourselves. Who am I?
Yeah.
But when you stop searching and you understand that, wow, it is it is the
Mm,
soul of me that shines through the human me. Well, I
yeah.
don't have to do anything but let it flow.
Yeah. And that's
Well,
Taoism, isn't it? Taoism, the Chinese philosophy about the
maybe.
flow. They talk about that.
Well, flow is energy, and energy is very logic, so it's also mathematics.
Right. So, with that in mind, where does it fit this idea of self improvement? To when we stop accepting ourselves, so or perhaps even we do need improvement in some self awareness. So, how do we how do we reconcile that being already what I am and making improvements?
Well, there is a distinction between understanding the you. So, for me contains of different layers. So we have a human me, also an animal me, a soul me, and a consciousness me.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they want to align with each other.
Mm,
But when you think you're only the human me, you forgot the soul and the consciousness me, and tried to
right.
be what
Uh,
the environment wants of you.
mm,
And actually, when you
yeah.
were young, I always explain it like this: when you were young,
Mm,
you were different than everyone else. And actually, the thing that you were different in, sometimes they like it, but sometimes they think, oh, don't do that. Just
right.
at a very young age, we learn to not do what we are
Right.
because that distinguishes us from the herd. And
Right.
I don't know why, but people think that it is a good thing to adjust yourself to the herd, but it's actually the uniqueness that
Mm,
makes us so beautiful.
yeah.
There are so many paradoxes in human nature.
It's
And
so true. I like what you said about this alignment of body, mind, spirit. So coming together. So the part of improvement is that what it is, Vera? Is that alignment? Just going back to that alignment? Is that how
yes,
emotions get into
and
play too?
also, and you said the alignment of body, mind, and spirit, but for me
Yeah.
there are four. It is
Oh,
body, mind, uh, spirit, emotions, feelings, energy, and consciousness.
Wow. Yeah. Huh.
So we
I
have
love
developed our bodies, we have developed our minds, we are at the threshold of developing our feelings.
yeah.
And consciousness, yes, that is starting to be a hype, but you can also be conscious and not
Mm.
getting in touch with your feelings yet. So
Mm.
those four want to be aligned because they're actually all
Right.
25% equally important.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we are not one fixed entity or one thing. It's layers of being. That is, I mean, of course, I have that understanding. And it's so true about, I remember just doing a lot of spiritual work, but not being in touch with my feelings, kind of pushing them away, doing spiritual bypassing. I did that a lot, trying to run from emotional pain. And then I would get really physical, or I would get too out there with spiritual concepts in my mind. And then,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Bypassing the feeling because the happiness lays in our feeling because happiness is a feeling, but also hurt. Hurt is also a feeling.
yes, yes.
So, so yeah, really facing your negative feelings is so scary and so difficult for a lot of people. Wow,
It
we
is
want to avoid pain and gain
right.
pleasure, but it is impossible to gain pleasure without facing the pain.
Mm, that's a big one for all of us to get more in touch, that that's okay to feel uncomfortable and get to know the roots. Is that what it is, Vera, within your work? I would love to know. Let's talk about already the emotion codex. How does it work?
Well, the Emotion Codex is actually a model. I can show it, but there are a lot of listeners too. Eh? So
Yeah.
it contains of 8 emotion groups, which are
Yes.
shown as emotional forces, like sources of energy.
Yes.
And so this is actually what makes our energy field around us. We are in the middle of this model. And this
Right.
model explains us how the different emotional forces drive us, guides us, protects us, uh,
Right.
yeah,
Mm,
help us on our path to our purpose. So
yes.
all those different forces
Yeah.
have also messages for us, and also
Mm,
some traits, but also communicate pitfalls and
mm,
have certain wounds. And so it explains a lot about the
mm.
energetic logic of our emotional system, our emotional guidance system, because they're guides.
Yes, I love that. I love that as as something to remember, right? Because a lot of times we forget, especially when we are in the middle of very powerful negative emotions that are perceived as negative. Fear is one of them that comes to mind immediately. Then it's a challenge to kind of see the light, see what the guidance is. What are you trying to tell me? And that's how I usually ask. I keep asking my feelings, what is it that I need to see? What is it trying to tell me? I keep asking. I mean, for of course I learned that. It's something that we learn, right? As we are not born with this education. So that's wonderful that you're doing this work. So talk to me a bit more about that. In a sense, also, what would be a good example, like fear? I would love to hear, because most people are going through this emotion of fear right now, and they don't know what to do with it.
Yes, so the tricky thing of fear, and that's a pitfall of fear, is that we lose ourselves.
Yes.
So what you told me to, I try to listen what you tell me, the feeling. That's a very, very positive stance toward emotions,
Yeah.
because we don't know that we think we have to flee from emotions, especially from fear. I want it to stop. I want it to stop.
Yes.
But it is an alarm system. In the
Mm,
first place, it's an alarm system. When we stand on the top of a building and we look down, it
yeah.
helps us to take a step back.
Right.
But
Right.
that's a real danger. But with people, 90% of the danger is something that we made up, or
Mm,
made worse in our mind, or made bigger. It's the
yeah.
mosquito that becomes an elephant in our head.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So there are a few things we need to do with fear, and that is first try to stay present, because when you don't stay present as consciousness, you cannot do anything. You
Mm,
become fear, and
yeah.
becoming an emotion is dangerous because then, yeah,
Mm,
it gets rid of you.
mm,
And actually, we often do exactly the other way around as the emotion tells us to do.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's because there is a thinking mind in between. And emotions often give feedback of what we believe. So
Right.
then the emotion for us feels like how do you say the word?
Mm,
Like it's true.
yes. Yes.
But as emotion is a feedback mechanism, it doesn't say it's true what you think. I'm just mirroring what you believe. I
Ah.
want you to point you about a belief. And when it contracts, well,
Mm,
maybe that means that you aren't aligned anymore.
mm,
There's something that you need to do to come into alignment. Yes, sometimes that is protecting the body. So we
right.
have to differ where the emotion reflects on
Right. Wow. That's so true.
consciousness.
Well, one of the things that you said that's really caught my attention now is not becoming an emotion. So being aware of that, that we don't have to become the emotion. But then one of the emotions that I really kind of identify with and consciousness really follow is joy. Like I love laughing and just being, dancing with life, basically. But then it doesn't work. You're right. Sometimes it doesn't work. I,
No, it
I
sometimes
become
doesn't work.
too joyful. And then,
That's true.
yeah,
But you have to talk of joy.
right.
Joy is a very extracting energy.
Yeah.
So when you get caught up in joy, wah, we are not
Yes.
grounded anymore. So joy
Yeah.
actually it's the energy that helps you filter what you like, but to
Uh,
manifest it, you have to you have to pull it to earth, and you
mm,
need the other emotional forces to do that. So just joy doesn't give you happiness.
that is so true. It's so true. I'm very kind of connected to it, but yeah, it needs to kind of be grounded, more grounded to something, something else. And now has becoming more like it because before I used to live in a place that I felt that was not in alignment with this joy that I was really connecting from out there. And now it's like nature, like here in Hawaii, it's just I love nature here. So the body automatically feels more aligned with this, abstract or this ethereal, I don't know what you call it, abstract, yeah, abstract kind of joy. So they're kind of coming together now. I feel, but it's still something that um, it needs some more, let's say, I don't know if expression or truth, because I'm very big into truth, and now I'm here in Hawaii on my own. My husband's not here with my dog, and I really love my dog. So every time I think of him, I have the emotion of joy because he's I love him. He's so cute, and we can play and dance together. But then the feeling of sadness comes in too because he's not here. So I miss him. So
Yes.
how is that a good example? How do I balance these feelings of sadness and joy that I feel when I think about my dog?
Well, the question is actually when if you do need to balance them, because emotions
Mm,
actually balance themselves. So when you
right.
get very joyful,
Yeah.
you need another emotional force to get
Mm,
balanced again. And sadness actually is
yeah.
an energy that goes inside. So
Right.
it regulates actually your joy, but it maybe it wasn't needed because
Mm,
joy, as you tell, actually easily gets you out of your body. So
yes.
when you translate joy, uh, uh, well, when it gets you out of your body, it's mostly a thought that does it. as you'd say, nature doesn't do that, because nature
Yeah.
isn't a thought, it's a direct connection, it's a
Yeah.
relationship, and
Yeah.
it's embracing you, and that is the feeling of,
Mm.
well, that's a very nice aligned feeling.
Yes.
But thoughts of something you like actually can get you out of your body. But it's also the thought of missing him
Yeah.
that that sadness reflects on. Because sadness, because it's contracts you, I miss him, and sadness said, okay, let it go, let it go. So
Yeah.
while feeling sadness, you actually, it helps you letting go. It's already balancing. So
Uh,
in this example, you may understand that emotions, we don't have to get rid of emotions. Emotions are doing their job while you are experiencing them.
mm, right.
So if we don't, we think when we feel sadness, oh, there's something wrong. Sadness isn't good.
Yeah.
But actually, when sadness comes, oh, thank you, sadness. You are
Mm,
embellishing me. I needed
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
apparently. Thank you. Well, let it happen until I'm
Mm,
balanced again.
mm. Wow, I never thought of that way. So that's why the emotion expert for a reason, right, Vera?
Yes.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Right. So is that what you call energetic logic? Is that what it
Yes,
is?
there is an energetic logic in everything. So, and this is a very very rooted energy, because actually it's when you understand emotions, you understand the energetic template that is
Right.
underneath everything in this
Mm,
creational world. So
mm,
it all comes from four, well,
mm.
natural forces, and
Yes.
they double and double again, and you see them everywhere. So
Wow.
the emotion codex, actually, emotions were the entrance to understanding the energetic logic of anything.
Mm, mm.
And it started with non-duality, so there wasn't resistance in exploring it. And I
Yeah.
got all these downloads about, yes, in this geometry of life, and it explains to me where it was for. So,
Wow.
and I needed to make it practical for people, of course.
Yes, you have a beautiful website that explains everything. It's so beautiful and well designed in the sense of even the arrangement of the information is very clear. I love the color. I love the color of that. The what do you call it? That's the emotional code graphic. It's I love those colors. You see how I'm automatically like naturally pulled towards something that will brighten up. Kind of makes me happy. So your
Yeah.
website, so but also clarity. I love truth and clarity. So this
Yes,
is
and actually the colors are very logic, so maybe that's why it attracts you. Because
yes,
if you look carefully, you have primary colors.
yeah.
It's one, actually, this is a tetrahedron, a three-dimensional
Mhm.
triangle, and the other one are secondary colors, and they're
Right.
opposite of each other. And the opposites actually are one force, one
Ah,
natural force. And,
right.
and so actually they come from four forces with two different
That
uh,
yeah, that's
vibrations.
I love the colors, and I think is that that's what it is, sacred geometry too, right?
It is sacred geometry.
That's what it
Yes,
is. Yeah.
that explains a lot.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
That's your
Yeah. Yeah.
three-dimensional sacred
Yeah.
geometry.
Yeah. And that's why I feel as soon as I looked at it, it feels like harmonies. This harmony sets in. It's almost like this feeling and this visual of harmony. It's very clear. And
It
that's
is.
funny. Yeah, a lot of times we can't explain with the logical mind, but there's a logic to it. Isn't that interesting?
There is a logic, and the funny thing is that that we thought there was a trinity, but actually it's a quadrinity. So there's an
Ah,
addition to it, and we also thought everything comes in seven, but actually it comes in eight. So I've made some adjustments. There are far more logic than we thought it was.
wow.
So
I didn't.
it's kind of complete.
Yeah.
Well,
Gosh,
in
yeah, I
development.
didn't. how funny about numbers. And when it comes to numbers, the number eight, well, it's the infinity sign, isn't it? Too.
It is also,
Number
yes.
eight. Ah, yes, that makes sense.
Actually, it's the infinity of the matrix we live in the duality we live in. Actually,
Mm,
everything repeats itself.
wow.
Everything. That is the wheel of rebirth. Everything repeats itself continuously. And we
Um,
can learn to understand it and play with it because
mm,
we are a part of it. We
mm,
can embody all these forces and work with it. And emotions are the entrance because that makes us understand. Actually, emotions is the thing that we need to fix a lot of problems on Earth and with environment because it is left out. We
mm,
are not in balance. When you look at society, there is a huge imbalance,
yeah.
and the connection with the feeling force, that is what missing.
Wow, it's so true, Vera. Beautifully
Yeah.
said. Yeah, we have lost contact, touch with our own feelings. Yeah, we have been pushing them away, and perhaps that's why the earth is suffering. I mean, we are suffering because of it, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and then the earth too. We're just bringing everything with it. So, is there a spiritual compound to it? Do you actually bring spirituality into your work as in a
Yes.
practical way?
Yes, actually, this way of looking at emotions isn't like clinical psychology,
Mm.
because the first 7 years of my coming out as a teacher was about non-duality, and non-duality and law of attraction actually bite each other.
Mm.
There are two sides of the same coin, and the Emotion Codex explained that. So
Mm.
actually, the codex is rooted in non-duality, and that's why it feels so harmonic, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when you look at emotions the way I teach it, it all guides you back to the alignment of your true self,
Mm.
into the non-dual perspective. Actually, that is
Yes.
emotion group love that does that. And this is emotion group shame, and this is all about the duality here and identity. They belong together. We
Mm.
say ego is wrong, you have to leave it. And non-duality is right, but actually both is needed to, yeah, to experience this world from a personal perspective. And all the other emotional forces guide us through this human life. So yeah,
Yes.
it has a very, very deep spiritual root,
Yeah.
and also very deep layers.
How amazing.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I love that because one, I'm very much connected to the non-dual perspective,
Mhm.
but also in a very practical way. Of course, it's not just. It was very attractive before many years ago, in a sense of most like um, spiritual bypassing. So I could just, oh, okay, everything is one, so I don't have to kind of worry about the emotions and all those things. But then little by little, emotions, as you said, they are looking for balance, so there's no way we can escape them. So one way or another, I was kind of forced the body mind to kind of deal with them. And that's when now I understand that I cannot push away feelings in any way, but at the same
You
time
don't
I
want
know
it also. At the same time, sorry.
yeah, oh yeah. And at the same time, I know that they're just a dance, that dance of energetic dance, and it's part of the dual world. So it's funny how it's very paradox. And you said that before too.
Yes, but the dual world is actually why we are here for. The dual world is
Mhm.
actually pretty amazing. We can see another person. We can dance with the other person. We can see colors. Uh,
Yes.
we can smell. We can hear sounds. The dual
Yeah.
world is
Mm. Yeah.
actually why we are here.
Yeah.
Let's start loving it.
Right. Yeah.
We can stay
Beautiful.
home.
Yeah. That's a remembrance, because we talk a lot about remembering, but that's what it is, a remembrance that we are here to have this kind of fun. Is a human spiritual fun, isn't it? Or
Yes,
experience.
it is. And what
Mm.
we don't remember, and that is pure non-duality, as we say, I'm a human and I have a soul.
Yes.
And I prefer to say I am a soul and I have a human, and my human is of service to me.
Ah,
And all the emotions that are programmed in the human also are of service to me.
yeah,
And the mind of the human is also of service to me because
yes.
that gives me the experience of being here.
Mm,
And
yes.
that makes you you feel present, strong,
Mm,
centered, rooted. So what we need to remember,
yeah.
yes, the huge rebirth is remembering where you came from and who you really are. But actually then it's just the beginning. Because from that point of view, you can actually really like living.
Ah, yes. Embody, like in we just embody this truth that we are. I mean, you're right, that we are spirit, that we are the soul. So it's so much more freeing, isn't it? And more fun when we think that
It's
way. The
freeing.
fear goes away, in a sense, that there's no the heaviness of fear, it's not present. Is that what
No,
happened?
yes, it did happen to me. Yes, I remembered it in my beginning 30s and after a very interesting period and switched during the hospital time.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I started teaching about it and I was really guided in doing this. Yes, that's actually a long story.
Yeah, oh, I'd love to hear. I would love to hear a bit more. Perhaps we can meet again. But and so one of the things that most people, and it's interesting. I tried to kind. I'm always within the let's say spiritual and healing community. People around me, they're mostly healers. They're spiritual teachers and all. And then some of them pretty advanced, pretty I mean, they can manipulate energy, some of them. So talk to me for a moment about that, because I became curious about that type of thing. Is that what you call spiritual powers, or just knowing how to manipulate energy? Because some people are able to move energies in somebody else's body. How is that? How do you explain that, Vera?
Well, actually, when you learn, and this is why I use emotions, because there are, for a lot of people, they are physically, but they aren't. They are energetically. So once you start to exercise, getting in touch with feelings, you also will develop skills to becoming in touch with energy on a more subtle level. So emotions help you to align. When you align, you have access to potential, consciousness, and filter it in very detail, and then you can get in touch also with energy. So energy is actually the next step after coming in touch with your feelings. And actually, it's very simple. Where I came from,
Mm.
I actually was an energy master before I was born. So this is why I chose emotions. But first, you have to go through the emotions and learn to let them go through your body. So accept
Mm.
them flow through your body. And then you get
Mm.
acquainted with energy and also the powerful force of energy. So,
Right.
so if you aren't willing to let also the heavy emotions go through you, you cannot learn to steer energy. And actually, that is it is on Earth a little more difficult, but because on Earth the physicality it is very dense,
Right.
and space is very uh, well. I don't know the word in English actually, but it is more difficult to contain it, but it is
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So it goes back to feelings. Even this alchemy of energy and
yes.
moving energy has to do doing that for yourself, learning that in your own body. Wow. Yeah, I
Yes,
didn't know about that. It's kind of fascinating to see that people kind of moving energies in a way that yeah, never. Well, of course, I'm familiar with it, but not at certain levels. I just had an experience recently. It was pretty intense, and like, oh my god, that I never. That's quite unique, to be able to do that. But you're saying it's not unique; it's actually something that's quite natural.
it is
That
natural. Everyone has access, but when you talk about this, I see what's happening. What's happening is with a lot of people is they are shattered. They aren't aligned. Or
mm,
even though they think they are aligned, they aren't aligned. It is actually very. It costs practice to become so aligned and okay with everything that comes into your well
mm,
square miles and your body and your awareness.
yes, yeah,
So acceptance is the beginning. Getting
mm,
to know yourself is the beginning. Getting aligned is the beginning of a life where you actually live more in synchronicity. And
yes.
so synchronicity, you can only see everything is synchronized, but we can only see it when you are aligned. And then
Ah,
it's more easy to play with it. But when you're
yeah.
shattered, it's not.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
God, the world of energy, and that's something that, for some reason, I didn't connect them directly with emotions and feelings, but they are connected. I mean, everything is connected, right?
There are when we divide ourselves in these four parts, our body, our mind, our consciousness, and our spirit, energy, feeling tools, emotions, intuition. It all
Right.
belongs to this, yeah, what we all think it's so difficult. That
Yeah.
actually makes us very, very powerful. It is when we embrace energy and emotions that we, the people, can change worlds.
Right. Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
That's the reason why this platform is called the freedom to feel is for that reason. After years of interviewing lots of therapists and coaches and spiritual healers and all kinds of people, it came down to feelings. Everybody was talking about feelings. Everyone. The very end, when I would ask them, what is one message you wish everybody to know? And then that would come up again over and over and over again. Feel your feelings. Be free within, like let the feelings flow, come and go. And then I'm like, wait a minute. This sounds like a very good title of another platform. So the freedom to just let it be, just flow with it. Is that flow again?
Yes.
Um, so talk to me about. I know I could talk to you forever about the program that you have. You have so many interesting things. I mean, so many fascinating offerings like for humanity. But I'd love to hear about the emotion mastery program and also the emotions during menopause. That's an
Mhm.
interesting one. I'm 48, so I'm already feeling the changes. So I'd love to hear about that too.
Yes. Well, there's an I wrote an ebook. You can download it on my website. It's about emotions during menopause.
Oh,
And
yes.
actually, I'm 49. Always
Oh,
through the menopause. I went
yeah.
through it very quickly
Right.
because I was interested in it. Because the moment a hot flash came up, I was interested in would there be an emotion attached to it?
Yeah.
Actually, it was. So for
Mm,
me, it was a period of, I really, really, really love menopause because you glide into a deeper rooted existence like a feminine
mm,
elder. And
yeah.
that is because when you use these hot flashes, it actually gives you the challenge to become uh, more of a master in dealing with emotions. So
Mm,
because
right.
I was so good in dealing with emotions, in 6 weeks the hot flashes were gone. And that's what I wrote. That's what I wrote about.
Yeah.
So it's all about emotion mastery. Actually, in the
Yeah.
end, it's all about emotion mastery. And letting flow your feelings is actually the lesson number one in the mastery program, because
Uh,
it is
yeah.
a basic stance toward emotions. But actually, they have messages. When you just let it flow, and you don't hear the messages, they just come up with the next emotional trigger. So
Mm.
it can be a way of dealing with emotions. They actually never stay more than 90 seconds.
Wow.
But they do have a lot more presence for you than just
I
experiencing. Yes,
I
it can
absolutely
be okay.
agree. Yeah. And
No.
Vera, I was talking to um because I'm not there yet in the sense of no, I'm still having the period and all that, but it's becoming more intense too. In the sense of feeling, I'm feeling a lot more of the body, but now more connected to the earth. Like when I go do grounding, when I put my feet on the ground and all, there's almost like this magnetic connection, like the body being part of the earth. And then they're communicating, they're definitely communicating. And then there's this language that I don't understand really, but I can feel it. And like, oh my God. So, um, what, um, what are the, what are the message that we are supposed to be, let's say, getting from this stage? And I don't want to lose that. Is that something that we're going to lose it when the period is no longer here? Because today I kind of woke up thinking about that. I didn't want to lose touch with that, with
Mm.
and yeah, that feminine and like in a way the only our period in a way can bring it into life. There's something about that. I never had children. Did you have children? Do you have
Four
children?
children.
Oh wow. So you really, really okay. That's a different experience. So for people like me, whenever I never had children, so that feels like that's my connection to almost like as a mother. There's something I don't know. I don't want to lose that. Is that something that I'm going to lose it eventually?
Well, maybe that's just a thought that you connect to. Yeah, the period. But
Yeah.
I actually feel more feminine. That sounds maybe strange because you lose the feminine hormones a bit,
Yeah.
but it
Right.
really makes me. When you talk about earth, it makes me feel like the willow.
Ah.
Where before I was more like the butterfly feminine, now I'm more the willow feminine.
Ah.
And it's
Right.
more like the elderly, the it is
Mm,
it is where actually the feminine wants to go out through the world and butterfly.
yes.
Actually
Yeah.
I let the world more come into me and embrace it.
Ah,
And you can come to me if you want. I'm here. I'm the
yeah.
willow. It's more
Mm.
it's like the feminine wisdom is more embodied or something like that. Yes.
Right. Wow. I never heard it that way. So you're very fresh. I like the freshness of the message. Yes. So it's more like the elder. Now it's more mature, the feminine energy, more grounded.
Yes.
Huh. Yeah. So that's good message. That's a good orientation for me. Like not to think that, like you said, it might be just a thought that I'm thinking that I would lose touch with the feminine, but it's quite the opposite. It might be the opposite.
Yes, I think it's the opposite. I think you also will become very attractive for example for children when you're more yeah.
Yeah,
You've got a
that's
different role in society. It's it's a
right.
change of role also in the human herd.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
gosh.
elderly.
See, this is so I mean, I'm very curious about how the evolution of, the human mind, the human body, the human soul, and then collectively, all of us. Do you have do you have a vision of the evolution of humans? Where are we heading to?
Wow, I got one vision, but what I see right now, because there's only the now, what I see is emotions are getting a topic. So that's good news because that's what we lack.
Right.
Also, consciousness is very hype and inspiration. So I see an evolvement. I also see a lot of pioneers helping.
Mm,
If we pick it up, I don't know. Because when I tune in the collective field, there are a lot of people who are very emotional, immature, premature actually, and
right.
fearful and scared and angry and hurtful to other people. So
Right. Right.
um, I don't
Right.
know. Well, I got a picture. I got a vision of myself where I was an old lady and I
Yeah.
was sitting in nature, actually next to this house I live in right now.
Mm,
And what I saw was, well, I don't know. I don't know if I need to say that.
yeah.
Maybe I don't. There were a lot of less people on Earth than there are now,
Oh,
and I
wow.
loved it. I
Yeah.
loved the silence and the quiet of it.
Yeah.
So I don't
Mm,
know what will happen. We can, in my vision, there's only now, and we need to take responsibility for our parts. And the way we can take responsibility is to be brave
yeah.
and accept and face everything that comes into our awareness, wherever it
Mm,
comes from. And when an emotion gives feedback, it is your lesson to learn. It is
right.
your role to play.
Wow.
And your investigation you have to do within yourself, because our
Yeah.
outer world is actually equal to our inner world. And there
Mm,
are 8 billion inner worlds reflecting in the outer world.
yeah.
So we need to do the work inside and really face these emotions. And there is guidance. We got guidance
Yeah.
through the Emotion Codex. And then you can learn how to be so powerful inside that you can be the change. Yeah.
Mm, yes. I love that message. As truth and as a reminder for all of us, right? As you speak, I'm just kind of going here like, oh, am I being very much in touch with my feelings? Am I letting them, my emotions to just flow? Am I? And then the sadness comes in a little bit, when I see my dog, I can't help it. When I look at his eyes, I just, because I never had children. So he's like we got him when he was 2 months old. So he's like my baby. So
Yeah.
and that's
Can
the
I give
funny
you,
thing.
can I
Mm,
give you something? Uh,
yes.
because when you think about your dog and you see the eyes in your mind,
Yeah.
you choose
Mm,
to pick up the thought of I miss him.
yeah.
But when in your mind you look at those eyes and you look through those eyes,
Cry. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
what
I just thought about it now.
feeling what feeling does he give you? What feeling does the connection with this dog, which is maybe elsewhere but is connected to you? What feeling does this dog give you?
Oh, yes, the feeling of love, the feeling of unconditional love, really, and
Uh-huh,
that powerful connection. I feel so connected to him.
uh-huh. Okay,
Yeah, there's, oh,
so when
yeah,
you go inside now and stay present with it, uh,
yeah,
you have you have you have these choices. You can stay with the feeling that this dog gives you and the love, and you
yeah,
can choose to miss him, and then sadness comes.
right.
It's a choice. It's up to you which experience you want. Do you want
Mm, right. And you know what comes up to me is like, okay, I don't want, I'm kind of choosing every time to do something so he can come to me, because the challenge now is that my husband is doing his work there in another state, and he needs Zen, is my dog's name, our dog's name, to stay with him. So so I immediately goes to the action, like I gotta do something. Maybe if I do this, if I do that, he'll come here faster. But the emotion's still there, right? The sadness, and I honor the sadness and I cry a little bit, and then I become happy with the thought that, um, maybe he'll be here soon. I start visualizing him here,
Yes,
and then that makes me happy. I don't know
yes,
if that's helpful, but yeah.
yes. And actually, the dog and I see this brown, cute eyes, and actually,
Yeah.
it's a mirror. It's a reflection of the love that
Mm.
you are. That's why we love
Yeah.
these dogs, and they are so unconditionally in love
Yeah.
with you. But when you look around you, there's more that reflects that unconditional love.
Yeah, isn't that funny? It's almost like we want that love to be outside, right? That's the experience here in the human as
Mhm.
humans. So yeah, wow, you got it. You got right to it. Because that thought came to me too when I saw him, like I'm seeing myself. I'm seeing that unconditional love. How beautiful. And then I want it close to me. Like, how can this become the duality, right? Isn't that funny? Yeah, I was
Yeah,
trying
so
to make.
actually, when you feel the love of the dog, it's actually a remembering and making a connection with the love that you are. This is what he
Yeah,
knows and remembers you.
yeah. Wow. But isn't it the experience to have the experience, the human experience to have that unconditional love for the imaginary another, isn't it in a way?
Of course, yes, but I only say the sadness is not needed if you
Oh yeah, gosh.
celebrate the love.
Yeah. So how do I? And I'm not supposed to get rid of it, right, Vera? I'm trying to get rid of the sadness, but how can I be gentle with it? How can I treat it with kindness so I'm not just pushing away?
Well,
How do I?
actually, when you really feel into sadness, it's a very healing energy, and
Ah,
when you
mm,
it is intertwined with the story of missing him.
yeah.
And actually, the story of missing him makes you out of balance. So the sadness is needed to restore your balance. So when you choose to
Ah,
let go of the missing story and you let the sadness heal you, then sadness actually is a very nice, very gentle, like a Mother Teresa energy. It's a very
mm,
embracing energy.
yeah.
You don't have to get rid of it. It's very nice energy, but it's also not needed.
Yeah, like both, right? Gosh, I'll try that next time because I have his picture here, and every
Yes,
time I look at his eyes, that's it. And then, okay, but I have a choice, right? Is that choice again?
yes, it's our
Uh,
choice.
yeah, thank you, Vera. There was like a mini session, right? Actually, was a very powerful session. Yeah, thank you. So I want to go back. So the eight emotional forces that you speak of, they are love, surprise, joy, sadness, disgust, anger, fear, and shame. And then you mentioned that before. Um, another, there's the emotion of anger is one that most people they have. Almost like this very unhealthy relationship with. And I remember having that myself. Every time I saw somebody getting angry, I would get angry of them getting angry because I didn't want them to be angry. Like, why don't you love instead? And then I would get angry myself. So, why do we push away this emotion of anger with so much power?
Yeah, well, let me first explain these eight emotions aren't eight emotions, but are emotion groups. So in each group, it contains positive as well as negative emotions. So
Yeah.
emotion group also contains passion and frustration and strength and so so when we faced the negative side of anger in aggression, for example, we got
Yeah.
scared of it because it's a very powerful emotion. But
Yes.
with
Yeah.
this non-acceptance of the aggression, most people, especially women, suppressed also their strength. That's what
Mm,
I see a lot in society.
yeah.
Because women had to be nice and sweet and
Right.
you know. So, but actually, the women are more in touch with feelings. So, actually, there are at this moment of Earth, men are also, of course, capable of that. Actually, women have the potential at this moment to build up far more energetical strength.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Oh,
they are
wow.
very scared of it because it feels for us like monstrous.
Yes.
Then
Yeah.
I will grow so big. I will become a monster.
Yeah.
I actually had that experience. That's a nice anecdote. I'm a very powerful woman, and I was struggling also with this, well, this misunderstanding about strength.
Yeah.
And I got a friend, and I told her about it. Feels so dark, like I could devastate everyone around me, and actually, we were having lunch, and she put down her sandwich, and she said, "It doesn't feel good for me to be here anymore," and she left.
Oh,
And
wow.
so really, she confronted me with this dark power I felt inside of me, and I thought, okay, I'm going to sit with it. I'm not going to flee. I'm going to sit with it. So I was sitting on my cushion in the middle of the room, and
Yes.
actually, my eldest boy was watching television. It was the movie of Bambi,
Yeah.
and I was connecting with this powerful dark energy inside of me, which I was just afraid of. And I felt this, and it was really running through my veins, and it was almost like I couldn't contain it. But somehow it exploded into a fountain of golden light.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And at that moment, I was okay with the strength. Bambi was dreaming of his mother was coming out of heaven, and my son was walking towards me, and he laid his head on my shoulder. And
Wow.
from that moment on, I wasn't afraid of my strength anymore. I could embody my strength.
Mm,
So we are afraid of a lot of feelings, which actually are far less harmful, far less wrong than we think when we
mm,
go into a direct, relationship with them.
wow. What a
Very,
powerful,
very
potent story.
powerful
Right.
experience.
And that is so true that women usually they don't even use the word power. They don't want to use the word power. I noticed that with some women. They're like, oh no, it's better to use a different word, not
Oh.
power. Yeah, isn't it fun?
But we
So
want
how
to embrace everything of our human existence. Everything is a part of it. Then you can
yes.
be whole. You can remember that you already were whole. But we
Mm, mm,
suppress by non-acceptance. We suppress all these powerful
right.
tools.
It's so, so true. How do you define power in this human experience? Like in this moment, how would you define that? What does it look like? Is that different for everyone?
Well, we have a different idea about it, but when we look at power, well, from the Emotion Codex point of view, it is the collaboration between all the forces. That's when we are most powerful. The
Right.
collaboration with the body, the mind, the emotional, energetic forces, and the consciousness. When they all are aligned and build the energy, then we are very, very, yes, mighty. Mighty.
Wow. Yeah. So it goes back to that alignment, right, Vera, that you spoke
Yes.
earlier. So it goes back to
Alignment.
align, bringing all forces together.
Yes.
Wow. Is that
Emotion.
something is that something that everyone can do? Is everyone ready to
No.
yeah.
Theoretically, yes, we are all equipped to that. Uh, there are people, for example, with brain damage, which cannot
Oh, yeah.
enter the emotional part. And there are
Yeah.
also a lot of people who aren't that, we who don't have the strength on the consciousness level.
Right.
So I see a lot of
Yeah.
people, for example, that need, for example, how do you call this? Anti-psychotic, psychotic medication.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Uh, well, it's a practice, and that practice maybe goes slower. But at this moment, not everyone has the role. Because in this moment of time, we need mirrors. We need the mirrors around us that reflects our fears, our fights, our we need the
Mm.
mirrors. So some
See.
people chose to come here and to be a mirror, and they
Right.
cannot reach it because they needed to lose themselves to mirror us. So we are
Oh,
actually the fortunate ones.
wow. That's powerful.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The idea that they had to lose themselves in order to.
Uh,
Wow. Yeah,
yes.
that's quite interesting. Um, so because we talk a lot, I have to ask you now that we are talking about losing ourselves. So I have heard about emptiness and fullness. In Buddhism, they talk a lot about emptiness. And then in Vedanta, which is more the Advaita Vedanta, it's non-duality, they talk about fullness. So in order for you to become full, which means fully alive, and perhaps in the sense that you speak of mirroring, doing what, being this agent of universal intelligence. So we can kind of help, humanity or whatever it is to fall into place or evolve. We need to become empty so life can just kind of fill itself and do. Is that what you're talking about when?
Yes, that also is part of the Emotion Codex. When you look at this, it
Wow.
contains a true tetrahedron. The one tetrahedron actually is the emptiness. That the movement goes outward.
Yeah.
Other tetrahedron, the other four emotional forces, goes inward. They are meant to contain and to embrace and to experience the fullness. So actually, it is all comes down to the breath of life, to the heart of
Mm,
the lungs, to the masculine and the feminine, to the electric and the magnetic. It is how you call it. It's the breath of life, and the energetic forces go in and go out, go in, go out, and there
right.
they contain a balance, and this provides energy. And this is what
Yeah.
emotions do. Some people say the contracted emotions are painful. Yes, they are, but also the emotions that go too far out, like fear and joy, also help us lose ourselves. So it
Mm,
actually is a balance between the yin and yang,
right.
between the
Right.
emptiness and the fullness. It is everything.
Oh, wow. Yeah. How beautiful the way you explain that. So it's actually, again, the balance between emptiness and fullness. It's not one or the other.
Yes,
Mm,
and in the balance, then the emotional forces or the natural forces are going to work together and build a synergy, and in the synergy, it builds energy and strength. So we
yeah.
continuously contract or lose ourselves too much, so we aren't able to build this synergy.
Mm, yeah. What does it feel like, Vera, this balance, this energetic balance? I'm just wondering here how the mind kind of could describe that as a feeling. Is
Well, maybe you can also see it inside of me when you look at my image and feel it,
Yeah.
because you feel presence, not only
Mm,
consciousness, there's love, but there's intelligence, and there's presence, but there's also vastness.
yeah.
It is the embodiment of every part of us. So it feels complete, but there's
Yeah.
also transparency to which you can see the emptiness through everything.
Huh.
And it's connected, but it's also individual.
Yeah.
and so it is the balance, but it's not, but it's everything is in it. Very
Everything's in.
difficult to explain.
Yes. So it's not. So you would be the embodiment of that, and I
Right?
can
Yes.
sense.
Not
Yeah.
always. I sometimes lose myself also, but right now,
Yeah.
yes, I'm very.
Yeah, and I can sense it. Yeah, I can sense the moment we got it on camera. I saw you. I could sense it, and I could sense it through your picture too. I know you sent me pictures and all, and I was looking at them, and I'm able to sense energies through pictures. For I don't know how, but yeah, I can sense it. I noticed that when we met today, I felt more grounded, but also like that I could be myself. I could just dance. And that's how I know too, because the emptiness that I see in you is what's allow the energies here just be themselves, just not try to hide, suppress, and just be it. And I felt it. And I'm like, oh, I can dance around, Vera. That's
Yes,
wonderful.
yes,
That's
and
really
that is because the emotion group love and non-duality teaches us to root in acceptance. There's an
mm,
unending, continuously acceptance towards everything.
right. And I felt it. Yeah, I felt
Mm.
it. Thank you so much for I mean for everything, for giving yourself to life in all these aspects and being it's almost giving yourself to intelligence, universal intelligence. So you embody in it too. Because a lot of times some people believe, as you said, in expansion, let's just go and be in samadhi, let's say, completely non-dual. But I noticed that they are not really in their presence. I don't feel the love. I don't feel like I don't feel accepted as a body mind. I noticed that, like, wait a minute, if they are true, I would feel that, and I don't feel
Mm.
it. So everything comes down to a feeling. That's fascinating, isn't it? How
Yeah,
true
it
that
is.
is
Yes.
to
The mind
feeling.
can trick us, but feeling actually are the midst between the soul and the consciousness. Yes, our
Right.
our minds. Yes.
Right, right. So thank you so much for bringing this, yeah, into this realm of existence. We do need that guidance in an embodied way because I think now is the time to almost like end this thing about concepts and living in our minds and just learning more information, more knowledge. I think now is the time to embody it. Some of us are ready to do it.
Yes,
So,
you're absolutely true. We don't need checklists. We don't need plans to step plans. We need to, and that's why the emotion mastery program actually gives you
mhm,
a meaning and but it's a but you dive into it on a feeling level, so you can feel all the layers and relate to the layers. Yes.
yes. I love everything that you're doing, everything where you're coming from. It's so obvious to me by, of course, your presence. Looking at, like I said, as you in your pictures, even I can tell. Also, your website, just going through everything, feels so harmonious. It's like again that energetic dance that feels really, really, really true and really good. There's something about I always mentioned truth and love, they are one and the same. They are never separate. I really, really kind of came to put language to that, something that I always felt it since I was very little, but I didn't have language. So now I think that's the closest that I can get to that, that love and truth, they're one and the same. And so the idea of God, whatever God, essence, source, love, truth, it's just, it goes together. I don't know if that resonates with you, but it's
Yes,
my
yes. What I hear in it is I like to do a game with myself a
yeah.
few years ago, and what I did was trying to express in sound exactly what I was feeling in that moment. And
Yeah.
when I caught myself on a song, I had to start over again. And
Yeah.
later, so it made this beautiful sounds that really resonated with the truth of that moment, which
Mm.
wanted to express inside of me. And later on, later on, I practiced to give to search words which were very true to what wanted to express and felt in that moment. So
Yes.
I think when you talk about truth,
Mm,
you can talk about it on very different layers, and
right.
maybe no one knows the actual truth. But I
Mm,
like to be the
mm,
authenticity. So lay the truth in whatever we express, and being the truth of the moment.
yes.
The expression of love.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for saying that too. Right. Yeah. Because truth, when I say truth, what is truth? Right. And then everybody might have a different idea of it is. But you speaking of being you, authenticity, being your own truth in the moment. And that translates into love in a way, or is transmitted. Huh.
Yes,
Yeah. That
because
makes
then
sense.
your human being is used to give the expression. It comes through the human being.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vera. Oh my God, you're so yeah, thank you. That's beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
too for making this possible.
Oh, I love these conversations. I can't help it. And it's also the energetic dance. There's an energetic resonance. There's the transmission of our truth, our love in the moment. I just live for that. There's something about that that just kind of keeps calling me as again and again and again as if it was a song. And I call it truth in love. And that might be it too. It's almost like the truth of being you, as you said, that it is transmuted or transformed into love, expression of love, and that can be felt by the other. And that's or whoever is in touch with
Yes.
this.
You
So
can
I think,
feel it. Yeah, the
yeah,
moment you are authentic, the other one's heart is opening.
yes,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, and that's how we know, right? That's how we
Yes,
know.
exactly.
So I want to mention your website, so emotioncodex.com. And there's so much more here that we're talking about. There's a quiz too that you offer to discover the hidden emotional current behind your feelings, choices, energetic levels. I know this is on your website too. There's a quiz that's really generous. There's so much information in the sense of generosity. That's what I see also from you in a beautiful way, the way you present all this information is just very clear, and again has this energetic pull to it that I can feel it just by looking. It's not just information, it's almost like it is a code. That's It's a frequency, right? There's frequency. Yeah, that's what it is.
Thank you for reflecting that. It was very hard. I did 1.5 years. I worked on it because it needed to be. I needed to put something in it. Yes, it was very
Yes.
hard.
Yeah, it really feels that way. And you probably have heard about some books that we read, or that of course that code can be also within people, obviously authenticity, truth, love, and like we are talking energetically, and also books. Sometimes I read some books that there's something, a frequency in those words that I feel, and my heart opens. I'm like, oh my God, what is it? So that's something that I felt within your work. That's even interesting that you don't know that, so you're not even aware of how much of that frequency has been almost like encoded within your website and even your pictures and everything. Um, I love the color yellow. I guess that's another thing. You- the color yellow, yeah. You're wearing your yellow. I just chose that picture too, and hopefully that's not just my filter. My joyful glasses. Yeah, being
Very.
pulled yeah towards that. So, would you like to add anything in this very end of our conversation? There's anything that you left unsaid, Vera?
Well, there's a lot of unsaid because I can talk about this for hours, and I did in the courses, and I do every week in the Q and Emotion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what I feel now, I just put on this website a month ago because, and I had a break in a year because I did all this work in the Netherlands, and
Yeah.
I stopped with it, and I so miss doing it because this is what I'm here for. So
Yes.
uh,
Mm.
yes,
Mm.
well, there's nothing that I can say actually. I need to echo.
Yeah.
I need to echo. So
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm a teacher about energy and emotions, and when it resonates to someone, I can echo.
Mm. Yes. How beautiful.
Yes,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I so hope that people are brave enough to step into this journey and embrace their emotional guiding system, even
Yes.
the spiritual ones,
Mm.
because let's be honest, when emotions are still difficult, there's
Yes.
something to do. And they don't have to be difficult. It is part of life and they tell us something. And I love this world. I love this time
Mm.
lapse. And we really need people who are more aligned and,
Yeah.
well, stand up for what they need to do. So, yes, it is beginning. The shift is beginning.
Mm.
You and
Yeah.
me and a lot of people wants to be the pioneers. So let's do that together.
Yes, right. Let's do that together. I love that too. So thank you so much again. And this is the intention of these podcasts, these interviews that I host, that more people would just come to know that healing is possible, that harmony is possible, that balance is possible. Because I know, like me before, I didn't know that. So many years ago, I had no idea. And I suffered so much. Like you said, you have a choice between sadness and experience something else. And I remember always experiencing depression and sadness and anxiety, almost like choosing automatically those things, not knowing that other possibilities, they were right there. I had no idea that they were actually right there for me. So this is the whole intention with this platform. We are growing, we are getting there, and who knows, it seems like we'll get to a different step now. So I'll talk to you off record about that, about promoting the podcast to a wider audience. But thank you so much again for your beautiful presence and the way you express your being and your work. It's just very beautiful and it resonates with my heart. Thank you so much again, Vera. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you,
Bye
Valerie.
for now, my dear. Thank you.